Hello, BookTube, and welcome back to part 7 of Britain in Pictures. Britain in Pictures started in 1941 by Collins Publisher, and there's different names throughout as it goes along. And it was a bit of a propaganda situation of creating little essays, and they're about 40 to 50 pages, but generally around 40 some pages long. And it was propaganda, like to bolster morale during the Second World War. So, and there was about 132 of them printed, and I've been going through every one, five per video. And this one I've already talked about, the Early Britain by Janice Hawks, on my hours in my library. Now, weeks and weeks or months ago, by the time this goes up online, and I talked a little bit about Janice Hawks, which she was quite interesting, and there'll be a little bit here too. This is 1946, I think it was. Yeah, Collins. It says Janice Hawks is the younger daughter of Professor Sir Frederick Gowland Hopkins, O.M. Order of... I'm not sure. She was educated at Cambridge and is one of the brilliant band of young archaeologists which that university has produced in recent years. She spent some time at the excavation of Mount Carmel and has worked on other sites in the country. She has the distinction of being a member of the Society of Antiquaries of London and has written papers on various aspects of archaeology, also a volume on the archaeology of the Channel Islands, and in collaboration with her husband, Christopher Hawks, contributed a book on prehistoric Britain to the Pelican series in 1943. Her writing is notable for its vivid human touch and freedom from the dull matter-of-factness which often affects writers in this fascinating subject. Let me read that again. Her writing is notable for its vivid human touch and freedom from the dull matter-of-factness which often affects writers in this fascinating subject. Really? She has the rare gift of combining imaginations with scholarship. Yeah, I have no issue with the last sentence there. But I forgot, yeah, this was when she was still married to Hawks. Who did she wind up marrying? An author? It wasn't even a Waugh, was it? I can't remember now. This second impression. Mommery Rings, woodcut by William Barnes, 1801 to 1886. It's quite nice. And I've shown, well, it's months ago now that by the time this will air, so I'll show all the color ones. Megalith Tomb at Pentry, Ifan, Pembrokeshire. Sorry, I'm butchering names. Oil painting by Richard Tongue of Bath, painter and modeler of megaliths circa 1830. Looks like somebody's a little tired sitting down there, but it looks like you can't really see it there, but he's sort of leaning forward on this walking stick. Stonehenge, Wiltshire, watercolor by James Bridges, 1819 to 1853. Now, as we saw in the previous one, there was, like, this is always has, the one side, and then there's another one on the other side. But in the other one book we had there, I think it was the Conservative Party. There was only one. They were all one-sided, and one had the one on the back. I don't know if that was an error or not. First Farmers, Paleolithic Hand Axe, Dorset. I love those kind of painting drawings. Finds from around Barrow in Winterslow, Wiltshire, Bellbeaker, 2 flint arrowheads, and a bracer to protect the wrist from the bowstring. Oil painting by Mr. Guest of Salisbury, 1814. Stone Rings, Old Keg, Bachman Watercolor, and Bulgakar. Crouched Burial in Round Tumulus at Dunstable Downs. That's not too far from here. Ink and wash drawing by Worthington G. Smith, 1887. Hamilton Hill, Dorset, watercolor by John Piper. It's quite a wild looking painting there with the sky. Mask on the Aylesford Bucket, Latenart. The English Ballet, W.J. Turner. And I've never said this, but W.J. Turner is the editor of the series. I think he threw out this all, general editor. So he might be the one that's been writing the little blurbs on the jacket. I'm not sure, or they may have got somebody else. This was published in 1944. Quote, modern ballet is a combination of dancing, music, plot, and decor. To understand and enjoy ballet fully, it is necessary, therefore, to have knowledge of music as well as of dancing, and to have a well-developed visual sense. Nobody is better qualified to write on the ballet than the author of the present book, Mr. W.J. Turner, poet, author, and music critic, the biographer of Mozart, Berlioz, and Beethoven. That's all I'm going to read from this, because it's very... it's this color, and then the word, the lettering is that color as well, and it's like, it's almost as if it's faded out, and it's very, very difficult to read. Let's see here. Petrochoica, Paris, 1911. Sorry, I didn't read any of the rest of there because I'm not going to be able to pronounce it. Margot Fontaine, Robert Helpman, and Corps de Ballet, decor by Leslie Hurry for the Sadler's Wells Company, 1943, photographed by Tunbridge Sedgwick. That is amazing. Like, I've said this before, I've never seen a ballet, and this is the kind of thing that I would love to see on stage at least once. Oh, here's another one that it's just fabulous sort of stage decoration. The Wanderer, choreography by Frederick Ashton, decor of Graham Sutherland, music by Schubert, Sadler's Wells production, 1941, photographed by Gordon Anthony. Let's see if I can get some colored ones here. Oh, this is colorful. Hamlet, Sadler Wells, Tchaikovsky, Halpern, London, 1942, design for the set by Leslie Hurry. That's a trippy set. Show two more here. The Prospect before us, Sadler Wells, Boyce, arrangement by Lambert, Nanette de Valois, London, 1940, the stage of King's Theatre, 1789, designed for scene scene 1 by Roger First. And then the next one is Le Coq d'Or. And there's ballet for you. Wildflowers of Britain, Geoffrey Grigson. Another like vivid colors, and that's quite nice on the spine too. Just absolutely vivid colors. And a lot of times that fades. This color would fade, but this hasn't. This is published 1944. William Collins of London. See, this was William Collins of London. Others say William Collins. Mr. Geoffrey Grigson is a poet. He was also the distinguished and lively editor of New Verse, a publication which has a center of literary activity before the war and the ground of many enlivening acrimonious literary disputes. I think New Verse is still going. I think there's something called New Verse. Mr. Grigson has the curiosity of a scholar and has acquired a great deal of recondite and uncommon knowledge of many subjects. He is an amateur botanist of some distinction and has an extremely thorough knowledge of the flowers which grow wild in the British Isles, both these which have rooted and seeded here for hundreds of years and those which are more recently established themselves. In this book, Mr. Grigson has written an account which will interest the expert and fascinate the enthusiast. The curious facts and stories which he tells will make the ordinary man realize by what strange adventures and accidents many of our wildflowers have originally been introduced to this country. Don't remember the drawings. Honeysuckle. They should be quite nice drawings. Orpine. No idea what that is. I don't think I've ever seen it. Group from the Forget-Me-Not family. Monkey flower. Color engraving after a drawing by Sydenham Edwards from Curtis's Botanical Magazine. Dog Rose, colored engraving by A. Parsons from E. Wilmot's The Genus Rosa. Primroses, detail from Primroses and Bird's Nest, oil painting by William Hunt. See, I swear that was a photograph, color photograph of the period, just a little out of focus. So yeah, there's Wildflowers of Britain. English Pottery in China by Cecilia Semple. Again, one of these sort of purplish ones. Usually fades. That's not too bad on the spine. A bit of chipping around the edge. Yeah. And again, it's got one of these sort of stain thing that somebody's written their name over, but you can see the blueness there for some reason. Don't know. This was published 1944, but yeah, there's an inscription saying 1946. Lady Semple was known to many before the war as Cecilia Dunbar Kilburn, in connection with the showroom of Dunbar Hay Limited, where was exhibited, it's a bit weird way to phrase this, where was exhibited pottery, china, furniture, and textiles, many of which have been specially designed by such well-known contemporary artists as the late Eric Ravloy. Oh, wow. Yeah, the Ravloy, a great sort of artist for books and stuff like that. There's a certain name for it, for the type of work. I can't think of it, but yeah, they're very nice stuff. Lady Semple studied at the Royal College of Art and won the traveling scholarship for sculpture In 1927, she has traveled extensively, and her knowledge and appreciation of fine craftsmanship and design is the basis for this fascinating study of the art of pottery and china making in England from early times. As the author points out, the purpose of this book is not so much to discuss and compare the finest specimens of English ceramics with those of other countries, but rather to draw attention to the very personal thread which has always distinguished the work of English potters, and which has made such names as Toft, Wedgwood, Spode, and others world famous. Oh, that's kind of cool. Wedgwood Shop, St. James Street, London. Watercolor by E. W. Cook, 1808. That would probably be nice in color. Excuse me. A lot of jugs. Staffordshire teapot decorated with applied reliefs circa 1755 from the Glazier collection. I'm not sure if I like that as a teapot. And a lot of these, I kind of wonder, are they actually usable as teapot, or were these made as sort of works of art more, and never meant to be used because of the glazing or things? Well, lead glazing, I guess, possible could be on it. Worcester teapot and bowl, circa 1745 to 1770. So I kind of like that one. I like the design on that one. That'd be a teapot I would use. This is interesting. A Worcester figure of a lady in a blue hat with yellow jacket and skirt striped in blue and puce, circa 1765, from the collection of Mr. G. F. Hotblack. It's the posing they did of that that's very strange. Like the hands out, but the head's turned backwards. Really? That's odd. Here's some examples of early pottery marks, which are always interesting. I remember doing archaeology, historical archaeology, digging up, and once you get the potter's mark, a fragment of something, you don't know what it is, but then you can look it up, and sometimes you can find out what it is, and specific pottery marks. Yeah, so there we go. Oh, there's another one of these. Chelsea figure, boy in red coat, yellow vest, and turquoise breeches. They really pose them quite dramatically. Last one here. British furniture makers, John Clogue. We've seen John Clogue on an older Hours in My Library. The Gentleman's Chair. Or the Englishman's Chair, that's what it was, yes. 1945. Our skill in furniture making is many centuries deep, and in this book, its development is traced from an ancient and almost forgotten partnership between woodman, shipwright, and carpenter. The skill that master cabinet makers like Thomas Chippendale, Hepplewhite, and Shearer displayed with such fluent ease was derived from generations of unknown and painstaking craftsmen who century by century had, by trial and error, by experiment, and by immense and exacting labor, built up a vast body of experience and knowledge of wood and its ways, of methods of using this basic material, and of tools that could bring new powers to their infinitely cunning hands. A little dramatic there, yes, but okay. Periodically, the craftsmen came under the tyranny of foreign fashions, but they always conquered the fashions in the end. The influence of the architect on furniture design grew steadily until, in the golden age of cabinet making, the 18th century, and the architect generally controlled the work of furniture makers. Only the country craftsmen remained free and independent. Or was this actually John Clogue? Was that the Englishman's chair? I just remember there was something else I think I did that it may not have been that. Oh, memory is bad. 17th century chair of raised velvet in the Cartoon Gallery at Knoll. The photograph. Look at those feet. They sort of switch back. Interesting. I wonder if there's going to be more bookcases in here. Designed for a sofa. Oh, wow. Drawing by Robert Adams, signed and dated 1777. It's courtesy of the author that there as well. Oh, no, it's not. Sorry, I thought it was courtesy of the author. Dressing table in satinwood. Colored engraving from Sheraton's The Cabinet Maker and Upholsterer's Encyclopedia 1804. Furniture from David Garrick's bedroom. Oh, wow. Painted in the Chinese manner, circa 1770. Drawing room chairs, colored engraving from George Smith's collection of designs for household furniture and interior decoration, 1808. I'm sure that's in the Englishman's chair, this picture. Or something very, very similar. It almost looks like, if you remember the chairs that come out of King Tutankhamun's tomb, doesn't this sort of remind you a little bit of Egyptian chairs? Or it does me, anyway. Okay, dressing table and folding table. Color drawings from a book of sketches made for Gillows. Anyway, that's the last one for this one, I think. Are we at... Yes, we're at 5. So I'll see you next time, Book 2.